why do I have to keep explaining my intentions to you? Like I already told you what it was. I told you what it was at the beginning. Mm-hmm. If you need some clarity, feel free to bring it up. But like, why are you looking to me? Like, why are you looking for me personally to come to you? And this would be just to remind you that that I still don't want a relationship.
I mean, I guess hearing you say it back again, if you're a person who doesn't want a relationship, that's a relationship type of task.
I'm like, yo.
I am specifically trying to avoid having to do these tasks, and now I have to do this task.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandan, and I am joined today by my fabulous partner and co-host.
Hey y'all, it's Ciandra.
Welcome to another episode of the Buffet Podcast, where we continue to give you that endless food for thought. This is episode 74. If y'all been rocking with us, good 74 episodes in, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thanks y'all for joining us after a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. Of course, we started this podcast to review the questions that we've asked and continue to ask each other since we started dating. Our conversations will range. They will be real, raw, and spicy. And you can expect for us to have the questions, but not necessarily all of the answers.
So come and eat with us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what is it? First plate?
Yes.
Amuse bouche?
Yes. I'm glad you remember, babe. Yes, we're gonna amuse bouche this thing. Amusity bouchity. And of course, for our first plate, we are pulling something off of the Instagrams. And I have to get there because here we go. Not exactly, but I am onto the Instagrams. And now, here we go. You got the volume on?
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between a guy being interested in you and being serious about you. You see, both guys will wish you a good morning text. Both guys will send you a good night text. Both guys will open the door or pull out a chair. But the difference is consistency. Now, when you see a guy not doing the things that he used to do, it means one of three things. One, he sees something in you that he don't like, and now you become an option. Two, he's not too sure about you, and he's really not willing to make that large of an investment. Or three, you gave him what he wanted, and now you're not that shiny object that he want no more. Now, I'm not telling you not to date the guy no more, but once you see a guy start to slow down, you need to know that that's basically a yellow flag, and you need to take your time to not get hurt. I hope that helps. God bless, and have a great day.
They're killing me with the music. I feel like the music didn't match that.
Yeah,
that music supposed to be like on some like hopeful, like overcoming.
Yeah,
I guess
love is building. It's from If Beale Street Could Talk, and they used it as the love story was developing. So you're right. It is a little bit more hopeful.
Oh, I didn't know where that came
and
from.
And romantic. Because you didn't see that movie.
I know I didn't.
Because you don't care about black people.
Brandan
does not care about black people.
That was a shot. I am black.
So is Kanye. Okay, babe. What did you think?
Oh, we already. You just got here, and she already
shoot from the hip. What did you think about the clip?
I think it was flagrant, but the clip. I don't have a lot. I don't have much to push back on. I don't have anything to push back about what he said. Yeah, I mean, can be a multitude of reasons for that, but I think those are some of the big ones. I just want clarity on is that he's talking about when you're first getting into a relationship, or he's talking about like after you've already been in a relationship. So is like the first. Is this like building up to exclusivity and like we're boyfriend and girlfriend, or is this like we've been dating for a bit and then it's like, 3, 4, 5 plus years in?
No, I think it's when you're on the dating market. The little caption is like, is he interested or is he serious? Gotcha. And like setting that distinction. And so I agree with that. I think that is where a lot of people end up getting their feelings hurt of like, but you said you didn't want a relationship, right? But you were doing all of these things. You were giving me all of this attention. We were doing relationship like things. And so I thought it was going to develop, or you had changed your mind. And it's like, no. My attention, I'm giving you my attention because I'm interested in you, but my attention doesn't necessarily ultimately lead to an intention with you. Like, my intention is to give you my attention, and that's it. And so I think it's really important to distinguish those two.
I'm with you when I'm with you.
Yeah. And I think because a lot of times, and I'm sure that this was directed towards women, because women use action and attention as a barometer to decide whether or not a man is interested in them, that's where you end up getting yourself, like I said, getting yourself hurt. Because it's like, but we did this and this together. He took me to meet his family, or like, you know, we've been on vacation. We've done these things that feel very much like things that you would do for someone that you were interested in being serious with, or that you were hoping to develop a relationship with. But if that person has not explicitly said that that was their intention with you, they could just be like Brandon has said, like, I'm taking you to nice places because that's where I like to go.
And I'm a nice person. I'm not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's your thought? I caught myself.
But yeah, I say all that to say that there is a distinction between like attention and intention, and that it's your responsibility to establish what is happening there. Like, okay, you're giving me attention, which I like, right? You're feeding this. I'm getting this dopamine. I'm happy. I'm enjoying you. And that is making me want more of that, which is potentially making me want to be in an exclusive relationship with you. But you may have no intention of that happening. So I need to be very clear about what your intentions are.
You're correct. Yeah. So like from what you're saying, I'm piggybacking of what you said. Like, there's been a lot of times where you say one thing as a man, you say one thing, say, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. You know, like, while I do want to be in a relationship at some point, I do want like a girlfriend, or I intend to be married at some point. Right now, I'm kind of just, I'm cooling. I'm enjoying my time out here. I'm not trying to do nothing too serious. But then, like, it feels like if you do that, you gotta move like the stereotypical like F-boy. In order for, I guess, the actions to match the words. I guess the idea that there can be someone who doesn't want to be in a committed relationship while also treating you like a human being is like foreign. Like, oh, I cannot want to, like, a person can say I don't want to be in a relationship, but then like you're not allowed to like listen or just be like a regular person, be nice and like listen to you when you're speaking, when you're in my presence, be interested in what you're saying as a human being. Like they take you out on like a date, like to like eat or, you know, something like that. Or drinks. I feel like that's it. To me, it just seems like the least I can do.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with you, but I think it's tricky. I think that you shouldn't change your entire character and start being an asshole in order to be able to have a non-committed but consensual relationship with someone. No, I don't think that that's the right idea, because I think that is like a seesaw effect. So it's like, if I'm a nice guy and, you know, we have a good time together, but I don't want a relationship with you, I still end up, you know, being an asshole. But if I'm an asshole and I don't want a relationship with you, I'm still an asshole, and then I get this bad rep for being an asshole. So I feel like it's about a balance, and that's why I feel like it's a shared responsibility between both parties. Like, what I would advise women to do is like be very clear about what this person's intentions are for you, and then set boundaries for yourself to make sure that you don't find yourself in a place where you are going to be hurt or upset or like not capable of, or not in a place where you can easily move on, right? Because like, this is not a tie that is supposed to last beyond a certain frame of time.
We're ships passing in the night, so to speak. Yeah, I mean,
And so I would say for the man side of that, the balance is you creating those boundaries for yourself as well, and or having check-ins, like, or being like, you know, I've been enjoying spending time with you. I just want to remind you that, like, my intention still stands. Like, I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, and so I want to make sure that that's clear to you. And do that, right? Like, all you're responsible for and can control is your actions. So the woman needs to set boundaries so that way she doesn't find herself fucked up in the game. Mm-hmm. And the man needs to set clear intentions and say them soon, say them early, and say them often in order to make sure that they can uphold their end of the responsibility.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, and it makes a certain amount of sense. But on the other side of it, it's just like why do I gotta keep telling you the same thing? Like, as an adult, I'm assuming you can hear and retain information. So it's like, I'm letting you know at the beginning, this is what it is, and then I'm just gonna go about my business what I said. Maybe if I see you acting in a manner that doesn't seem to be like you're starting to ask or demand more than what I initially was offering, then maybe that requires me to be like, hey, just want to make sure that, you know, what I said before, like, I'm not really looking for nothing serious. I don't really appreciate you trying to, you know, broach over that, you know, that boundary, that line. Cool, but like, I couldn't see myself like on a monthly basis. Like, hey, let me just check in. It's been 30 days since we started this, you know, this little thing that we got going on. I just want to make sure that everything's still Gucci. Like, I'm still not looking for a relationship. Like, I don't feel like that would be like necessary to do personally. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's a personal preference. I think to your first point of like, if something changes, that's a perfect time to be able to bring it up. But that's reactive. If you want to be proactive and not find yourself in a space where you have to have that conversation and it be hostile, or that person turn up on you because it's like, well, you said that, but we've been doing X, Y, and Z. Like, the preventative, proactive thing is to be like, hey, you know, we've been dealing with each other for X amount of time. I'm still in a space where I'm not looking for a relationship. Where are you at right now? And it's a conversation. It's not necessarily like you have to make a declarative statement each time.
Well, the only way I can see it is to be just like just making sure everything's still good with you. Like, hey, you know, I know you still out here dating and you out here doing your thing. I just want to make sure that, you know, everything's good. I don't want some dude, you know, coming on some. I don't think that really happens. I'm coming to you as a man. Leave my girl alone, bro. And I don't want none of that. So I just want to make sure everything good, everything is in the clear. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, you know, I'm still not looking for nothing. I hope that it's the same for you right now. And all right, cool. Just renew the contract.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I think you sounded like you were defensive of like, I don't want to have to explain myself more than once.
Well, there is a good amount of that, yeah, because it almost feels like, so like, I can't. It feels like I'm constantly. You constantly have to you have to re-explain yourself. It's like, why do I have to keep explaining my intentions to you? Like, I already told you what it was. I told you what it was at the beginning. Mm-hmm. If you need some clarity, feel free to bring it up. But like, why are you looking to me? Like, why are you looking for me personally to come to you? And this would be just to remind you that I still don't want a relationship.
I mean, I guess hearing you say it back again, if you're a person who doesn't want a relationship, that's a relationship type of task.
Yeah, I'm like, yo.
I am specifically trying to avoid having to do these tasks, and now I have to do this task. But I think that is a part of the catch of having something that is casual, like, or a non-traditional relationship. Often you end up having to do a little bit more work to kind of avoid having hurt feelings, and you have to assume a little bit. Sometimes it's just assuming more responsibility for yourself, right? So that's why I said, like, it's responsibility on both parts. The woman has to be intentional about setting those boundaries, doing what she needs to do in order to protect herself. But also, as the man in the situation, you still have some responsibility, even if it's not your responsibility to that other person. It's your responsibility to yourself and moving how you want to move according to what your character is and the things that you value. If you don't want to be the shitty guy, you might want to have that conversation. Like, you don't want to be the man that is the ex from hell for her, or the man that is like did her so dirty that she can't move on no more. Then,
how does the man become the ex from hell when we weren't together? How does the man become the ex that did her dirty if we were never together? Like, how do we get there?
People still talk about that. I'm sure that there's someone in therapy right now based off of situationship.
And I would hope that therapist is good enough to be able to like point out, like, you agreed to a situation, you allowed it to go to you caught feelings. That's something he or she didn't have nothing to do with you catching feelings and then being surprised when like what they said at the beginning is still true. It's like, bro, I told you, like, this wasn't anything more than what it was. You didn't, if some confusion was brought up during the process, you didn't do your due diligence to like either reassure yourself or try to change the terms and conditions. It wouldn't have changed. Like, I would have left, of course, but you didn't do your due diligence, and now you here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. So what would you say is the responsibility of the man then? If I've already outlined what the responsibility of the woman is, I
think it's just, but I also think the responsibility is the same for the man as well. Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like man can't catch feelings. A man can't say like, hey, I'm not looking for nothing, and then like the woman is cool and she do X, Y, and Z, and you're like, damn, she kind of a good one. I kind of like her. Like, what's up? And let me see if I can make something happen. And she be like, nah, you know what I mean, nah, big buddy, you feel me? Like, no, you Thursday, you 3 a.m. I'm sure. I don't know. So I think it also falls on the man's responsibility. It falls on whoever catching feelings. Really, like, it's the responsibility of both parties to keep the relationship as is, and like you're not allowed to like try to shift into a different mode without the consent of the other person. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so like if you feel like you want to shift to a different mode, then it's your responsibility to be like, hey, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm hoping maybe you'll be open to like maybe turning this to a little bit something more official. But if not, I think we need to go ahead and end this here before deeper feelings are caught.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think my brain is wired for a proactive approach, but a proactive approach is probably most appropriate for some level of commitment. If we just, it's just attention and energy being shared, just vibes, we just vibing, figuring each other out, then it is more reactive. But that's not my preference.
Yeah, but humans being what they are, like, you spend enough time around each other and you fucking, like, some feelings are bound to happen unless one or both of the parties are just not cool people. Like, maybe she just got that guac, but she's just like a terrible human being. Like,
you person. She's
just annoying as shit. Maybe this dude is dusty as shit, but he got that good D. You know what I'm saying? Homosexual on some homosexual shit.
No.
So maybe there's some reasons why the separation is easy to maintain. But assuming that you are amongst like some of the people who got their shit together halfway together, decent job, you're not really not struggling, you're not worried, and you're a halfway decent human being. You spend enough time around each other, you're gonna start developing. It's natural to start developing some type of feelings, even if it's on like some friendship tip shit. Mm-hmm. So on that note, that may be good to establish some sort of, like I almost imagine like two people with the intention of not being together, just on some friends with benefits thing. They do both being cool, y'all hanging out, y'all having a good time together, and then naturally you blink, and then y'all been doing this shit for 5 years, and y'all like low key together, but y'all never said anything. I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like that happens a lot.
No,
I have no data. I have no data to back this up, but it feels like that happens a lot. Because you know how motherfuckers feel, like people are very not resistant, but like reluctant for conflict or the possibility of like rocking the boat. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, I'm getting everything I need out of it, and I feel like I'm in a relationship, and then I'm not going to say nothing for the possibility of them to be like, oh shit, you're right. You shouldn't be doing this. So I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna cool back, and I'm just gonna let this shit go on, and then maybe something happens in the future, and where we can like officially make it so. I feel like that's how a lot of situationships.
But happen. You said years, and years is just taking it too far. A few months, maybe.
Okay.
But years is just where the line should clearly be drawn in the sand.
I hear that.
Who got years to just spend? Unless I'm in college.
People got hope. People got hope. And with that being said, let me ask you this question: do you think there should be a time limit on these like situationships, on these friends with benefits? I'm not looking for nothing serious. Like, should be a time limit on the person, like the people that you're doing it with. So we each got a roster. Each roster, how long is that posting good for before I got to switch you out? I got to, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Handshake, whatever.
You can come back. People trade off teams all the time. But you can't have it consecutive. Like, I've been with this one for about 5 years. No, strong. But not 5 years consecutively.
So it can't be so what's the time where it has to be a break? And how long is the break, I guess?
I would say that it depends on the situation, of course. Like, there's always contextual information, but let's say
we're speaking in straight generalities.
Okay, let's say in general, you guys are both available but dating other people. I would say 6 months to a year of are you okay to be on the roster? Because that's not a consistent 6 months to a year, right?
It's not like you're seeing them every day.
Yeah, like I'm going to see you infrequently, but I'm going to see you enough to get a good amount of rapport with you and to know whether or not you really belong in the potential bucket or you're really not going to be able to go anywhere. I'm going to see anything further. And if after that time, we part ways, we need to part ways probably for a relationship. Like, one of us, if we get to a point like that, we make the decision to transition in that way, which is what I feel like usually happens. Usually it's like somebody gets into a relationship and it's like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, dang.
I didn't know you had somebody. And then
you're my
like,
best guac, but I gotta let you go.
Gotta let you go. And then that relationship ends in 1 to 2 years, and then you come back.
They say, yeah, I'm sorry to let you go, but, no bridges were burned. You gave ample notice. You know what I'm saying? We always welcome you back on, within the organization if you ever find yourself in need of a bed warmer once again. So, I was like, damn, do you give notice? I said, what kind of notice do you give? But
you don't. I mean, you give notice in the sense of you let people know,
like,
especially if you want them to be able to rejoin the team in the future. Like, if it's no bad blood for real, you just, hey, I wanted to let you know that I'm in a relationship, or hey, I want to let you know that I'm seeing someone seriously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what I was like, hey, I just let you know, like, I've been dating this, I've been dating this one girl, and I feel like something like, I'm gonna try to make this my main real quick. So for those purposes, I gotta downsize, in order to make this work. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and let this go. I appreciate love and respect. If I'm ever single again and you single at the same time or whatever, we can rediscuss. But for this time, we want to go our separate ways.
Yeah, or the classic Instagram post. You post this new girl that you with on Instagram. That's how they know.
I mean, that's how they know. That's how they know. But knowing and downsizing, it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yeah.
Damn, people scandalous.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you say to people who are just serial single people? You know what I mean? Like, if both of y'all stay single for years, that on end, no one gets into a relationship.
Then be in a relationship with each other, because basically that's what you're doing. That sounds like the people that you just said. Like, you look up 5 years and it's like, dang, we still fuck with each other, huh? Y'all are in a relationship with each other.
Yeah, you just didn't put a real title on it. I hear that. 6 months to a year, you say?
What about you?
I wasn't gonna give it that long. I would just imagine, like, for people who are like dating for real, I don't think, from a man's side, I just don't think a woman would allow herself to be on a roster for 6 months to a year, like, straight, without them getting into a relationship. So at that point, I'm looking at you like, hey, it's been 6 months to a year. You ain't got chose yet by somebody? Like, what's going? Are you dating, or are you trying to?
If my intention is to not get into a relationship as well,
Yeah, but like, how long? You know, you feel me? Like,
it's 6 months to a year. Maybe I'm saying I'm working on myself. I'm taking this year off. I'm a date. I'm just going to try to, meet some new people, engage with people, but I'm not going to be in a relationship. It's not a question of whether or not this person can get chose, because if they are still actively dating,
they can get chose,
right?
but I can't keep nobody. You can get chose, but can you keep them?
If I'm throwing them back into the ocean, I have them in a bucket right now. I'm keeping them, but I didn't take one home and fry it up.
Right. Okay, but the I'm working on myself. Sure, that I can hear that. I can hear that. Reason. You're right. The working on myself. I just got out of a long-term relationship. Yes. I'm not really trying to do nothing right now. 6 months. I can see it. A year, I don't know. 6
months to a year. I'm just giving a little wiggle room.
That's fair.
What if it happens at the holiday season or something? It's cold. They got to make it through their first hot girl summer. They got to make it through their cuffing season, and then they're ready. If we broke up, not we, God forbid. Say if someone in the world broke up with someone else in the world in October. Mm-hmm. I'm crying right now. I need a little minute to cry. Make it through the holidays.
Seasonal affective disorder is going to slap the shit out you. Okay.
January comes, New Year's resolution. I'm out here.
So you hit the gym. I'm finna get back right.
Yeah, and I'm finna start dating. I'm dating all through the summer. Next cuffing season comes. I'm like, no, it's still too soon. I don't feel like I had enough time. I do me for a little bit more, and then come January of the next year,
it's like new year, new you again.
So, okay, and I'm ready to be with him again.
I got the crazy. I got the wildness out my out. I feel like I'm over them potentially, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Over them and been under someone else.
Hey, girl, you know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about you. Tell your mama say hi.
Click. Not Future. I saw this video of Future today. This is a tangent. This man said, tell her I love her so much. At 8 a.m. on Monday, she's yours, though. For the weekend, I love her. This man is toxic.
Or honest.
I love her
at
weekend.
This point, I don't think it's toxic because he's not lying. I think he's just brutally honest. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm keeping a buck with you. I love you for the weekend. Like, I'm gonna send you back. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I did it. If he asks.
No, don't send him back to Metro Housing.
I ain't say all that, but I'm gonna send you out of here. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
He's toxic, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like, can we call it toxic if he's like upfront and honest about it? If you knew what it was when you signed up,
though. That's not healthy.
For who?
What do you? For most people, I think that's established that it's not healthy.
I guess. I don't think it's a good long-term strategy.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think it's a good long-term strategy. But I don't know if it's toxic because like I feel like both people are getting what they want out of the situation. So it's like it's not like no one is like he's breaking hearts. It's not like he out here like finessing people and getting them people, tricking them out of position and stuff like. It's like, yo, you knew this is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you can consider that toxic.
I think that there's the same way that you were like, okay, you can get a man, but you can't keep them. Mm. There's something to be said about like that in his situation as well, right? Like it's not that. And this can be all choice, right? Mm-hmm. But if you are continuously choosing to be with people but not willing to keep them, mm-hmm. what does that say about your ability to form like close, intimate relationships and your ability to commit to people, to be able to resolve conflict? Like all of those things maybe are contributing to it. And I think that if your exes are like look in hindsight at that relationship and call that relationship toxic, that points to you and them, right? Like it both share responsibility, but something about you, if 9 out of 10 of your exes say that the relationship was toxic, maybe it's you, bruh.
I mean, you raise a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give him toxic, but he ain't all the way there because of the lack of deception within it. He just got some shit he need to work on whenever he decides to do that. But prayers go out to
all parties involved.
All right, so what is the main plate for today?
The main plate for today is cuffing season rules.
Ooh, it's that time.
It is that time. It's probably been that time for at least the last month. I feel like once Labor Day is over, then it's like, all right, y'all stop fucking around out there. Let's figure out what we doing.
Yeah, you got to go in for the winter.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted us to be able to give rules from both of our perspectives. So I'll give some rules for the women, and you can give some rules for the men. I told you.
Yeah, I got it right here.
And but first, I wanted us to make sure that we define the cuffing season. Mm-hmm. So, in your personal purview, what is cuffing season?
The cuffing season, it is a time. It's like open house. It's like open tryouts for your partner, at least for the season, for like starting like from fall. The tryouts are from fall through right before Valentine's Day, in my opinion.
You should definitely be cuffed before Valentine's Day. It's cold all that time.
No. You can be cuffed in that time, but you don't get locked in until Valentine's. Valentine's Day is you locked in. You locked in. You got it. You got the position. You official. Because only one person can get the Valentine. I mean, there's some people out here who are doing it, but Valentine's Day is like, yeah, you do that for your girl, or you do that for your man.
Okay, fair. I would agree with the majority of that definition. I think that it starts right after Labor Day. I would say it goes through the majority of winter into the spring. So it probably I would say that it goes through to the end of the year. Like by the holiday seasons, by Christmas, you have either cuffed someone or have you significantly like shrunken down your roster because it's cold outside and you ain't trying to be with a whole bunch of people.
That's fair.
Now, what I found on the interwebs is that cuffing season stems from a biological need to survive. That in times of yesteryear, when it got colder and we wanted to have the body heat of someone else, we would start looking for a mate and also for the benefit of procreation. And then there's data that also
got to get it in during that season so they can be born around spring.
Yes, exactly. And that was the other part that I was going to say. So more babies are born during the summer months, which means that they are they're cuffing season babies. I'm a cuffing season baby. My birthday's in July.
I'm not. I feel like I'm like a Valentine's Day baby.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like that's what we counted and figured out.
Yeah. Parents was fucking.
Wow, that's.
I mean, everybody's parents was fucking. I would hope.
Yeah. Or you're a test tube baby. And no offense to test tube babies. But yeah, there's also increased levels of Whoa.
I was like, whoa, what you saying?
A remix. Testosterone and estrogen during the winter. So it's also like biological that we like want to be closer and sexually intimate with another person.
I just had a weird thought about I was thinking like, what if? No, I don't know if that's true. I just like a wild thought backed by no science whatsoever. It was like, what if people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder are the ones who don't get that?
Don't get
like
what?
who don't get the mating thing, and then like biologically, you just like I feel like a biological imperative here, so it's just like
yeah. So
everybody around me is fulfilling that need, and I'm like not.
So you're sad because you're not getting your back blown out or blowing out backs,
or sad because like I may die from this cold because I don't have nobody else body heat.
That's
maybe some biological shit behind that. Like I said, ain't no there has been no research on this, and I'm aware of it at the very least.
But there could be.
Don't at me.
There could be some truth to that, babe.
Maybe.
I don't think that that's completely wrong, especially if we are hardwired in a couple of different ways. Biology, the scientific part of like, what did I say? Oh, the scientific part of like our need to survive, and then just the social pressures, right? Like it's not like the holidays aren't coming up and you're not finna see all these other people with their family, their partner, their partner's family, and seeing all of that and having that kind of comparison effect when you're looking on social media doesn't help either.
Then I would imagine like the levels of anxiety and then also depression will, like I said, will probably increase during those times, because it's like the pressure. I got to do this. I need this. Life or death.
Yeah.
Future. The crop's gonna die if I ain't got nobody to help me.
My woo.
Yeah. So.
Okay. 5 rules for me, at least. I have 5. How many do you have?
By the way, these are arbitrary amounts of rules, but to let y'all know. But
how many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and a possible.
Why did you tell them that it was arbitrary?
Oh, just in case I don't know, just in case they felt like, why 5? Why 5 apiece? Is this behind some article? I was like, yes, these are arbitrary. We just decided on a number because it matched up. It's not a shot at you, babe.
Y'all, when I told Brandan that I wanted to have 10 rules earlier, he was like, why 10? And I was like, I like even numbers. He was like, that sounds like a lot. And now who got 5, almost 6?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these are, yeah. Yeah. I was thinking official rules. Like that sounds official.
I didn't say official.
No, when you said that, my mom was like, damn, it's going to be hard to come up with 10, like for real, official sounding, like,
strong recommendations.
Yeah, rules. I was like, I don't know if I got 10 of them motherfuckers, but I got 10 something guidelines. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Guidelines. You said soft recommendations.
Yeah.
It's not required, but it's recommended. You'd probably be better off if you follow them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Okay. My first one is to date multiple people, so you don't cuff the wrong one.
I like that.
We just talked about all this biology. You're going to have an increased desire to be with someone, be around someone. And so if you only date one person, they may seem like a good person to cuff.
Your mind will trick you.
Yeah. And you might think that this is like, oh, this is it. Or like, the season is going already. It's kind of hard to get out there. People are not on apps or outside as much once it gets colder. And so,
unless you live in the South.
That's true. But even still, like with holiday time, family time, travel time and stuff people have it going on, I'm not prioritizing a first date in November. Like that's not going to be the top of my priority.
That's true.
So I would say date multiple people, start dating them early. That's my first recommendation.
I like that.
What about you?
I like that. Let me see. For me, I said, so make sure I put these joints in order. Yeah, I said communicate your intentions or your needs up front. Because I guess that goes back to what I was saying early on. Like you got to be upfront about what it is that you're looking for. If you're just looking for like a situationship, friends with benefits, or you're dating with intention. Shout out to an old episode. I can't remember which one, but we're talking about dating with the intention of an actual like romantic relationship. State that up front.
Agreed. I like that one. I think that's a really good one. I had something similar. Mine was to like set an intention to who you want to cuff. So thinking about the characteristics of that person based off of whatever your intention is. If you want friends with benefits, don't choose the kind of man that you want to be in a relationship with. Choose the kind of man that like, I don't want to say got a flaw, but like there's some barrier to you wanting to be in a relationship with that person.
Something that gets you to like the almost like that. I would if it wasn't for this thing, but he's cool enough for me to like enjoy my time and not feel guilty or like I'm demeaning myself in some way.
Yeah. Let him have a little something that just feels a little off to you, or not feels off. It's just like not your ideal. Cause if you set an intention, like you said, to just be friends with benefits, but it's your ideal man, this is cold.
Oh, go ahead.
It's going to hurt your feelings if it doesn't end up in that relationship that you want.
I was going to say, I probably shouldn't say it. Never mind. I was like, for a woman, I feel like a good one, especially for, how women are talking about what they want in a man. I was like, this is the perfect time for you to explore the short kings.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great idea, actually, babe.
I'm saying, but I'm just looking at it from like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm a short king, and then like the only reason you fuck with me because like this is the only time I'm lowering the requirements of the barriers for entry for the short kings. Or you can also look at it as an opportunity, put it on a down good, and then you make it to finals.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That was a positive reframe. But I think that is a good example of a characteristic that you would be like, no, my perfect man is X, Y, and Z. He is 6'8", and then you date a man who's 5'7", and it's like, I like you, but because I'm stuck up on this one thing, I don't anticipate our relationship going further. But we just talked about how people end up in spaces that they don't necessarily intend. So it could work out, but you should articulate where you're at. That's why setting that intention is important. If you know that you just want friends with benefits, you want to make sure that the person that you are interested in is also aligned with you in terms of that intention.
Are we going back and forth? All right, cool. So my second rule, piggyback off the first. So like to reiterate, my first one was like communicate your needs and and your intentions up front.
Y'all, my computer is ringing.
Yo, they calling you. Somebody's trying to keep me from Someone's trying to keep me from speaking the truth. Who is calling you, girl?
I don't know.
I didn't know your phone. I didn't know your computer had a phone number.
I had a phone number from. Sorry, y'all.
What's going on?
It's someone else's phone number now. I don't know who it is.
Okay, so like I said, my first rule for men, I'm speaking from men's perspective here, is to communicate your needs and your intentions up front. My second one is respect her decision. So like if you be like, hey, I'm not looking for nothing serious. I'm not looking for anything other than like friends with benefits or anything like that. I'm just trying to have a good time. And she's like, no, I'm looking for something more serious. I'm dating with intention. Respect that and move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh, I can get into the relationship. I can get it. I can say I'm looking for a relationship, get into it, and then just kind of, the finesse to play a little bit. I'll be honest with you, I feel like I've done that before on accident. Not intentionally, just like, I know you want a relationship. I told you I also want a relationship because I do want a relationship in the future, but or maybe not like right now at this moment. And then it's like, I give you a shot, but it's just like, nah. But even in the back of my mind, I was like, I already knew that you probably weren't gonna be it. That didn't feel good. Yeah. So I don't recommend that. Don't, learn from my mistake. You know what I'm saying? Respect the decision. If she ain't looking for that, just get out the way. Just get out the way.
Yeah, that's a good one, babe. I'm glad that you learned and grew from that experience. Because if you would have said this to me right now,
this is a long play. Whoa, I ain't got that kind of patience.
Okay, my second one.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine that shit? Like, I've been playing you this whole time. Yeah, I'm saying, let's move, across the country, girl. You know what I'm saying? Let's get an apartment together, girl. Let's get a bank account together, girl. Yeah, it was all a lie. That's one of the cheeks.
You've been there now. Okay. Number 2 is to get out of your house. So I feel like you shouldn't limit your dating experiences to your house very early on, especially because it's cold outside. That is a real temptation to be like, oh, just come over and we'll hang out here. And I feel like that is a trap.
That is a trap. You know what time it is.
Yeah, it's a trap. If
you brought any man home, what their mind is going to is maybe not be aligned with what you're thinking.
Exactly. Their wheels are spinning. Excuse me. There could be some false intimacy created from like sharing space with that person, them cooking in your house, you cooking for them in your house, stuff like that creates this false intimacy that maybe isn't aligned with what you want. And I also think that you want to experience the world with this person. So like, get out of your house and actually see how they move in social settings, because that might be important to you in the long term if your intention is to be with them. But another side to the get out of your house thing is just to like literally get out of your house. You cannot be cuffed from home, sis.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that's very true. That's very true. I had another thought, but first I want to make sure you finish yours.
I'm done.
All right. So I had another thought while you were talking about one of your previous your previous rule. And I was like, yo, you can hit up a short king. But I was like, it's also a good opportunity to date outside your race potentially. That can be the thing that, it's like, hey, they're a cool person, but I only see myself dating a black man. And I'm saying, go ahead, see what the Latin side looking like. You know what I mean? See what swaggy P white man looking like. The swaggy one. What's the rapper? The young bull?
Jack Harlow.
The Jack Harlow is out here. You know what I mean? Or yeah.
Or Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans or Thor or I don't know. He's like a type of white dude that black women admit that like they're attractive and they'll give it to him. But is Jason Momoa considered other, or are we giving him a pass to be like
he's other? He's The Rock, right? Isn't he Samoan or something?
Yeah. But The Rock. But I feel like a black woman who says I only date black men would be like, I'll date The Rock for real. I date Jason Momoa.
He don't say that he black though.
I think The Rock does. So I think he claims some blackness of some sort, but he's mostly Samoan.
Yeah, you got to claim. I need 100% Negro in order for you.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Nothing. No. Okay. So they can't just have a piece of black. They got it, or they have to identify 100%
yes, they
as black.
need to identify. It's not the fact of
and also
your ancestry.
Black. So Sean King, he Gucci?
I don't like light skinned men.
I'm just saying, like in general, for like the black women who say they want to only date exclusively black men, and I'm assuming they mean black men who identify as black. Sean King, cool?
I think so. He got a black wife, and he was on Black Love.
So I guess he's been vetted. So okay.
I'm just saying,
he
already has a black woman who want him. He's not available for other black women to want unless he finds himself back on the market.
Well, not necessarily him specifically, but something of his complexion and belief system.
We know that there are. We just talked about black men who don't look black, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not during this podcast.
No. But prior to the podcast. Yeah. And so, if you identify as black and you're culturally black, because that's what I mean when I say I want to date a black man. I want you to identify as black, be pro-black, and be culturally black. So we'll have some shared understanding and experiences.
That's real. All right. That was a little tangent.
Very much so, a tangent.
All right, so is it my turn to give you the number 3?
Yes.
All right, let me see. Don't start something that you can't maintain. Yeah, so allow me to elaborate. So this happens in dating period as well, but you can also use this for like the Cuffin Season situation. Like when you first get into a relationship, you know, as a man and stuff, like, I think it goes both ways. You going at it 100 miles an hour. You showing you the best you doing everything that you can. You're doing like the best of everything all the time. You 1 day, 2 day, 3 day in a week. Yeah, let's do it. I'm trying to spend all the much time with you. That's not something that you can maintain. That's not something like realistically in general that you can maintain. And I understand like the excitement and then you want to lock it in and show like how much you're committed or how much you really want to get this thing, this person, excuse me. But you have to balance that with what you can realistically be able to like do on a regular basis. So if you are here, you know, taking them to 5-star restaurants and stuff like that, while you can, like, I guess you can afford that, but can you afford that at the rate in which you are taking her out on at the beginning of your relationship? You can't be like, hey, every time we go out, it's 5-star or nothing. And then like once you got it, be like, yeah, like I can do it. I can take you to a 5-star restaurant, but hey, I had to save up for this. So now I need to pull this back. And 5-star restaurants once every quarter, every 6 months, once a year type shit. Like, nah, boy, you have started, you know, an expectation. You establish an expectation that like that's the baseline. So and that, I'm not talking just for money. That can be on like, hey, when you first get together, you hitting it from every angle, every second and every day. Hey, if that's not something, because that's easy to maintain because you only really seeing them maybe once out the week, maybe twice out the week. So like you getting it in like 10 times in that 4-hour period that you all together before you go out separate ways and go about your life or date other people. You get in a relationship, it's just her, it's just him, and y'all together all the time. I don't know if you can maintain that across the board all the time. So I'm just saying, just be careful. Don't start something that you can't maintain. Don't sell no dreams on some relationship shit. Yeah. When you know that you're not trying to be on that.
No, I agree with that, babe. I think that's a good point. Don't set up a norm here, right? Because that's what it is. You're establishing a norm. You're establishing a baseline. And so you don't want to set up a baseline that is not going to be sustainable. And especially if you're doing that with multiple people, right? So like if you're dating multiple people, it doesn't sound like a good idea to take all of them to 5-star restaurants, especially if you ain't got it.
Don't give her your best D off top. You know what I'm saying? Because we got that rare form D that like, whew, like I did my thing on this one. Like I know I did this one. And then we got our regular, like our moderate, like we can run a mile comfortably pace type D. Yeah, your base pace D, and we got push D, and then we got all out D. I'm saying don't give the all out D off top. Give a base pace somewhere between base and push off top, and then you know what I'm saying, once you establish, once you get it, you learn it better, push all out.
Oh boy, Orange Theory is now a part of the pod.
Yeah, it is.
All right, my fourth one is to set boundaries and establish expectations around holidays, because the cuffing season is right through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day. So get clear on what that's going to look like. Are we celebrating together? Are we celebrating separately? Is it, I'm going to send you a text. Am I getting you a gift? You getting a card? Like what level
of gift are we getting?
Yeah. Where are we at in terms of exchanging these kind of things for these holidays? And are you going to ghost? Like, are you like, okay, family time is family time. You can't even talk to me. You can't even see me.
That's wild. Okay.
Or are you like, I'll drop off a gift on Christmas for you. It's not no problem. Like I'll come spend a little bit of time with you. So I think you should try to get clear about what your expectations are, what boundaries you want to set. And I think that extends even beyond family time to friend time as well. People have Friendsgiving celebrations and like gift exchanges and stuff like that, or holiday parties for work. Like figure out what that's going to look like for you, like what you would prefer and what you're comfortable with. So if someone brings it to you, if a man asks you and invites you to his holiday party, you can say for yourself, like, no, I'm not doing holiday parties, or like, I'm not interested. Or you can say yes and not have a guilty conscience or feel weird about it.
I like that.
Thank you. I like you.
Oh, thank you. I like you too. I'm more than like you. I really like you.
I double,
triple.
Yeah, like you. Yeah. What's yours?
Okay, so my fourth one is don't be pressured into a relationship you don't want. So like, the first few is just the setting up the basic parameters of before you get into it. But once you into the cuffing season, you know what I'm saying, like I was saying earlier during the opening, the moosh boosh portion, it's like don't be pressured into a relationship you don't want. I'm speaking to the fellas, but women can also take this one as well. Don't allow, especially if you start seeing, for example, it starts out everybody in agreement, this is nothing serious. You start going on and you start noticing the woman is being, a little bit more demanding of your time. You know what I'm saying? They start disapproving of like you going out or dating other. They start dropping these subtle but really unsubtle hints about like she's taking this relationship to a level that you didn't agree to. Cut it out, right? Like you need to address it right there. Don't get tricked out of your position. It's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let her believe what she believe, and I'm just gonna, as long as I keep getting what I'm getting, like, nah, that's not a situation that you want to be in. Like that's not going to be good for you in the long term. Like, I'm sure, like,
bad for business.
It's bad for business. I like that. It is bad for business, and it's stressful, and that's not how you get peace, King.
Protect your peace, King.
Protect your peace. So if you see, she's getting out of pocket in the sense of like trying to grab more than what you initially offered, hey, don't be pressured into a relationship. She might be cool. She might got the guap. If you don't fuck with her like that, get out. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Hey, the cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah, girl. Okay, my last one is to have fun. And even if you don't get cuffed or do the cuffing, just make sure that you check in with yourself and that you are having fun. Like, it's supposed to be a good time, even if it is stemming from all these like scientific factors that are like revving you up or social pressures. Like, make sure that you're having a good time while you're doing it, or else it won't be worthwhile.
Just because there may be some social pressures or some biological imperative popping up doesn't mean you can't enjoy it or find a way to enjoy it. Enjoy it. So yeah, definitely have fun. I like that. I'm glad you included that. Before I give you my last one, I gotta give an honorable mention. And by honorable mention, I mean, like, I feel like I shouldn't have to say it, but because people are stupid, I gotta say it. And that is, don't get nobody pregnant. Like, safe sex.
Build up.
Yeah, like safe sex. I feel like that should have to go. That should go without saying. But safe sex. Don't get nobody pregnant
or give anyone a disease.
Or give anybody, or get a disease.
Yeah.
Testing. You know what I'm saying? Test. You know what I'm saying?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So, like, before you let go of the roster and you get into another actual serious relationship, test between. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can go into a new relationship, clean bill of health. Pressure's off. You Gucci. And if you do end up get something after that, you know who did it. So you got somebody to blame. So now that I got that honorable mention out the way, my final one, number 5. Know your worth, King. That's rule number 5. Know your worth, King. Don't get bamboozled out here. Don't go for anything. Like, I know, like this is not a time to lower your standards to the floor. Don't be mud eating out here. I just made that word up. I don't know why. It just popped in my.
That sounds like you eating dirty booty.
Yeah, it does sound like that, don't it? But I guess that works too. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have your standards. You know what I'm saying? Don't betray your standards. Don't do nothing where you're gonna look back and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, bro. Like, don't be that person. Know your worth. Know your worth.
But explore. I thought we were telling the people to explore.
Wait, I mean, there's explore, and then there's like, I betrayed myself.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm
disappointed in me. And I'm saying, like, nah.
Okay, that's fair. Same goes for women. Please don't betray yourself or disappoint
and it's
yourself.
because it's people that betray themselves that allow people to have an inflated sense of self-worth. So, like, you help your fellow men and women by not betraying yourself. Yeah. Because it's a lot of women out here, there's a lot of men out here thinking they shit don't stink because somebody came down and picked them up out the mud for an X amount of time. And now they think they can do that. I'm saying, don't stop. Know your worth, bro.
Yeah. Shooting your range. Never shoot below your range.
I feel like plus or minus 2. 1.5.
Okay. All right. We ready for final food for thought?
Yeah. Final food for thought. All right. So.
You want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. My final food for thought is to have fun during cuffing season. I think that I left that rule as number 5 because it's an important one. You want to make sure that you're having a good time and that you're actually enjoying the process of getting to know people, that the cuddles are cuddling, like that they're hitting the right way. Get a fluffy bae for the winter so you can have that good body heat.
Back then, they didn't want me.
Snuggle up.
Now it's cold. They all on me. That used to be my theme song back in the days. Like, back then, they didn't want me. But when it's chilly out there, it's so warm. Yeah.
You are warm, babe. So, yeah, that's my final food for thought. I would also advise you to use all the rules that we discussed today. That's also a part of it.
Yeah. My final food for thought is that whether or not you take in or decide to follow our rules, I believe that you should have them.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to develop your own set of rules and standards that you would want to implement going forward into this season of cuffing that we are currently in. And I think those will be based on whatever your needs are in the moment. So evaluate what those are. What is it that you want out of it, and go forth and like you said, enjoy yourself, be safe, and know your worth. All right. That being said, we are done with episode 74.
Yes,
of
y'all
the
can.
Buffet Podcast.
Yeah.
Where can we find us?
Check us out every Monday wherever you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. We're also on YouTube, so if you're seeing us, hey y'all, make sure that you subscribe, that you listen, that you rate the podcast. Tell a friend to tell their cousin and their mama,
everybody,
and their girlfriend, and whoever they're trying to cuff this season. All of them need to know. We can help them too.
In fact, listen to this with the person you're trying to cuff.
Yeah, be like, what's your rules? What you trying to get out of this?
Yeah, tell them, listen to it and say which one of these rules you agree with. What you do? How do you feel about these rules? Because I want to implement all of them. Yeah, if you have a hard time articulating it, or you know what I'm saying, it's like, hey, listen, I'm big into podcasts. My favorite podcast is Buffet Podcast with Brandan and Ciandra. Got this episode. Let's listen to it together, and and if they say they don't like it, that's not the one for you. Know your worth. Know your worth.
Know your worth, king
and queen.
And queen.
Yeah, if the man you trying to cuff don't fuck with us, that's not for you. The woman that you trying to cuff and don't fuck with us, I'm trying to tell you, 99.99% of people who don't listen or don't like our stuff, they for the streets.
Yeah, what Brandan said. Thanks for listening, learning, and laughing with us. This has been the Buffet Pod, where we give you endless food for thought.
And let's see you next time. Come eat with us.
Yeah.
Peace.